All right, good morning everyone. Welcome to Caridad Community Kitchen. My name is Chef Izzy, and thank you for joining us this morning in our first meal kit video. This morning we're going to be making a watermelon, fennel, and arugula salad with a little bit of feta. All right, so for our first step for our watermelon salad, we're going to need obviously a watermelon. So we took the time and we cleaned our watermelon ahead of time, and you're going to need a chef's knife. So for those of you who don't remember, always when working with something round, we need to always give ourselves a flat surface. So we're going to take our melon, turn it around, keep our board clean, nice flat surface. I'm going to bring it close to the board, right, and I'm going to find the rind . From here, right, I can see the line where I want to cut. So that's going to be my point of reference where I can follow the skin to cut it. So this is what our melon should look like after we've cleaned it, right? Not too much of the rind on it. We went ahead and took the liberty and just cleaned it up. So from here, we're going to want to, depending on how uniform you want it, I like mine pretty uniform, so I'm going to go ahead and take it and square it off at this point. So I'm just going to turn it into a cube, and we're going to have some leftover, and we can use those leftovers for if you have kids, your kids can snack on them, you can snack on them. So I'm just going to cube it off right now. So I've got this like nice cube now, right? And from there I'm going to put it on its side, and I want to make planks. Depending on how big you want them, like I like mine bite size, so I can fit in my mouth. Get rid of that. All right, I'm going to turn these on the side, flatten them out. I'm going to turn it. It's a nice uniform cut. There we go. The recipe calls for about 3 cups. We have more than enough right here. All right, so for our next step, for the fennel and arugula salad, we're going to need some fennel. So for those of you who aren't familiar with fennel, this is what fennel looks like in the store. These leaves can go pretty tall. If you're not familiar with fennel, fennel tastes like Pernod, if those of you who know what Pernod is. If you don't, it very similar to like black licorice. If you've had that black licorice before, that's very similar to what fennel tastes like. So we're going to take our fennel, and we want to cut this top part off the stalk, right? We want to get rid of that. Clean our board up. Right, we already have a flat surface, so we don't have to worry about cutting anything off, but we want to cut it lengthwise, right? So we're going to cut that right in half. And for this recipe, we probably only need about half of this, right? And in the center of it, there's a little root in here that's very bitter, so we want to go ahead and take that out, right? So with my chef knife, right, finding the top of it, I want to V it out, right? And then from there, just going to pull that right out, right? Clean it up a little bit. So we want to julienne this. For those of you who don't remember, that was the first week of class. And we want to fine julienne. We don't want it too thick, right? We want that nice balance of watermelon and arugula and fennel. So we don't want it really thick. We want it almost shaved, right? So very careful, right? Right, just like the onion, right? From this point, we go right here. We turn it over. Nice and fine, nice julienne, nice and thin. All right, I'm going to put that away. All right, so now we got this nice thin pieces of fennel. And if we're not going to be using the fennel right away, a nice way to keep this fresh without oxidizing is to put it in some water with a splash of lemon juice, lime juice, or some vinegar, and that'll help keep it preserved and prevent it from oxidizing. All right, so we've cut our watermelon, we've julienned our fennel. So the next part of this salad is a dressing. This is a very, very simple vinaigrette. So for those of you who don't remember, right, the vinaigrettes are it's a ratio, right? So it's either 3 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 parts fat, 1 part acid, and a little bit of salt and pepper. So for our fat, we're using extra virgin olive oil, which I have right here, already measured out, and I have our balsamic vinegar and a little bit of salt and pepper. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my vinegar to my bowl, right? I got my towel underneath, I got my bowl, my little whisk, right? And we're just gonna agitate it, right? Agitate while we slowly incorporate the olive oil so it doesn't separate, right? So this is a temporary emulsion for those of you who remember, right? So it's not going to stay together. So if it sits for a while, you're going to have to agitate it again before you dress your salad. Right, so it's come together a little bit. Right, I'm going to finish with a pinch of salt and pepper. There we go. All right, so we've cut our watermelon, we've julienned our fennel, and we've made our temporary vinaigrette. So now it comes time to assemble. Very easy assemble on this, right? So we have our watermelon, we have our mixing bowl. Right, we're going to add our 3 cups of watermelon very gently. Set that off to the side. This is half of the bulb of fennel. I'm going to use just a small pinch, and you can add as much as you like. There will be a written recipe, right? And then this is about 1.5 ounces of arugula. All right, so that's what it should look like right there. Right, and then we're going to take our vinaigrette and starting from the outside, right? Because it's always easier to incorporate your salad from the outside in as opposed to the inside out. All right, I'm going to take some tongs. Very gently, give it a couple tosses. All right, so we've got everything put together and in our bowl and it's all mixed up. So now it comes time to plate up. So, nice clean plate, gently putting it down, right? We want to go for height on this. All right, clean the rim up a little bit. And we want to finish this with a little bit of feta. All right, we'll sprinkle some feta on there, and we got a nice, cool, peppery, delicious summer salad. You can add your feta to the salad or on top. I like to put it on top personally because the feta it's not going to turn black with the balsamic vinaigrette in there. But once again, it's going to be however you like to do it, however you want to serve it. And this is a dish that can be served family style. I still have some left in the bowl. Or you can make little plates. So there's a lot of different ways you can go with this. So I hope you had a good time, and I hope you enjoy your watermelon salad. Thanks for joining us.